Everybody, welcome to the fifth episode ever of Tales of the Fold. First ever on YouTube because we just figured out how to do it. So we have like 4 episodes on Spotify already, and that's been going. But we figured, all right, let's set up some cameras. Let's do it the right way. So we have boom, we have boom, and then boom. Yep. And so for those who doesn't know, this is Lady Girl. She's our little sheepadoodle. Little sucker.
She's a sheepadoodle.
Yeah.
She is, for those that don't know, the dog from The Little Mermaid, but a tiny version.
The one on the ship.
Yeah.
And then a doodle, of course, because it's very allergen free. Because we already have 3 cats. For those who doesn't know or who don't know, we have 3 cats, 2 dogs, 2 kids. So what that entails is we have a lot of laundry. You guys can't see that, but I'm pointing at laundry, and we have 2 baskets ready to go. Actually, it's funny enough, that's just ours.
Yeah.
The kids we can do another day, or
it's already done.
Look at that, we did it. We did it.
Yes.
Okay, we did it. Hey, not very ladylike. Stop it! You're on camera, you gross. This isn't an OnlyFans. So, Tales of the Fold consists of us doing laundry. Hopefully you guys will as well and make it a weekly thing so that your laundry doesn't get stuck in the couch or the dryer. Where else do you put it?
I don't do it. I don't put it in any of those locations.
Or on the side of the room.
Yeah.
So we'll do 3 Reddit stories each. Is it whether am I the asshole or best of Reddit updates?
We'll just be reading Reddits, and we'll get to how many ever we get while we do laundry.
Yep.
And that's really just it. So we like to do Reddits. We like to read them and whatnot. We said, why not just do it while we do laundry, since laundry's not our forte.
Yes.
We do it every week. We're just not good at putting it away.
Gives us a reason to talk to each other and do laundry. And
a reason to talk to each other. We always talk to each other.
Yeah, but not like by choice.
EJ.
That's rude.
You little life-saving!
Is there anything else you want to say?
No, I think we get to laundry and we get to these stories.
Yes, let's just do it. Do you want to start it off? Sorry, people. I had such a terrible night. Like, one of the worst nights. And I'm exhausted beyond words. So bear with me.
And here's the laundry. And Lady's going to actually be in the middle of the laundry as well because...
that's what she does.
She just likes to be all up in the business. So the first story that I picked is Am I the Asshole? And this guy has actually put in several updates. So I went ahead and cut down all the fluff and made it digestible by making it smaller.
And the puff.
Huff and the puff. So, am I the asshole for calling my coworker work sister after she called me work husband in front of everyone? I, 34 male, work in a small office with about 30 people. And I have been working with my coworker, Mary, 35 female, for 6 years. We have a good working relationship, often travel together for projects. My wife knows Mary and likes her, and overall, everything has been always professional between us. One day, during a happy hour at the office, Mary started joking about how we traveled together so much and began roasting me for my habits, like forgetting stuff in my hotel room, being sweaty after hitting the hotel gym, and everyone was just laughing and it was a good time. Then, out of nowhere, Mary hugged me tightly and called her work husband. I didn't like the term. I have a wife and I'm committed to her, so I felt uncomfortable. To diffuse the situation, I removed her hands from my shoulders and called her my work sister. I thought it would lighten the mood, but it upset Mary. She left and went back to her desk sobbing. Later, I tried to apologize, but Mary was hurt. She said that by calling her my work sister, I made her sound like a creep in front of everybody, and she felt embarrassed. I explained that I didn't like the term work husband because people were giving us dirty looks, and I didn't want them to think something was going on between us. We talked it out, and although Mary calmed down, I still felt guilty for making her feel embarrassed. The next day, the atmosphere in the office was tense. Mary ignored me, and I wasn't sure how to handle this situation. I planned to apologize again, but when Mary confronted me, she made it clear that she felt humiliated. She insisted that calling someone a work husband was normal and that she knew me better than anyone else in this office. I tried to explain that I was uncomfortable with the term, especially as a married man. Mary apologized, but still seemed to think I was overreacting. So, am I the asshole?
No. I mean, I'm wondering if, like, yeah, he probably could have avoided it then and there and then gone to her later on and just been like, hey, I wasn't too fond of that term. Can we just keep it like, work sister, work brother, and that's it. But he did say that people were looking at him the wrong way.
Yeah, and I think it's the hug. I think the hug was like
The part that put him off.
I have seen in work situations that like work husband and work wife
Yeah,
is just
absolutely.
very light.
It's just, I feel like that's what we were.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'd say so. So yeah, it seems lighthearted. I think the biggest situation here was that long hug, and everybody like in front of everybody. That seems like the
Yeah, looks
big,
sketchy.
yeah, big no.
Mhm.
Especially since they do travel a lot together and they do share rooms.
Makes it look bad.
Makes it look bad.
Well, the sharing the room actually does make me. I would feel weird about that too.
Yeah.
I would feel weird.
And
Like, I'm surprised the wife's okay with that, and that's great. But like, I don't know if I would be okay with that.
yeah, which is weird. I'm surprised that this company
That allows that.
allows that.
You would.
Allows that. Yeah, right.
It's like you're pretty much asking for them to possibly hook up, or I don't know. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong at all. So, not the asshole.
No, I don't think he's the asshole. I think that he kind of just. I feel like it was better that way, like to just let her know straight up, hey, this is how I feel about it, and in case she ever decided to get feelings, and as well as maybe just kind of putting everything into place, like, yeah, this is all, and but I mean, he probably could have handled it a little bit differently. I could see that. I could see how she could have gone humiliated by that. 100%.
Yeah, and in front of everybody. She shouldn't have done that anyway. That's
no, she shouldn't
it just
have
feels
hugged
weird.
him. So, I think it's awkward situation.
So, first update. After posting my situation online, I felt reassured that I didn't do anything wrong. The next day, Mary ignored me, and I initially planned to apologize but decided against it.
Ooh.
Mary confronted me, saying she felt humiliated, and while I explained my discomfort with the word work husband, Mary insisted that calling someone work husband is normal, claiming she knows me more intimately than my wife. I told her I felt offended by the term and I didn't want people to think of our relationship that way. Mary apologized but insisted I was misinterpreting her words and wanted to move on. I discussed the incident with my wife, who was angry at Mary and uncomfortable with the situation. My wife advised me to distance myself from Mary during work trips and report any similar behaviors to HR if it happens again. I planned meetings with my manager and HR to document the incident and discuss options, but not to file a complaint. I felt that some distance from Mary would be the right situation moving forward.
Holy crap, that escalated.
Yeah, I mean, wife being uncomfortable with that makes sense. It seems so lighthearted, but at the same time, it's like, all right, bro, back up, lady. Why are you
yeah, she clearly has feelings for him.
You think so?
If she, I'm not gonna say, oh yeah, but like, I mean, it just seems so. Like she had a reason to be upset, but not like to this extent. I think she could have probably, if she wanted to talk to him, she should have just let him know again, like, hey, I was just really upset by the situation. How can we move forward? But clearly, she's so defensive and telling him to like get over himself that like, and then to say that the wife, or that she knows him more intimately than the wife.
But it feels like it's so lighthearted that even the term is super lighthearted, but still inappropriate, I guess, in a way, if you're married.
This is the thing, is that I'm sorry to interrupt you. Like, this is the thing, is like, I don't feel that it's a lighthearted term. It honestly, I wouldn't take offense to it if like somebody called me a work wife.
No. But would I take offense? It's more
that's what I'm saying. Would you?
Yeah.
You would?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
So then okay. So and he stood his ground.
Yeah.
My thing is that she obviously has feelings for him, and she's coming off too defensive. So I think that he did the right move by kind of just putting a stop to it and first being honest with the wife, but then now going to HR. I think the HR thing is a little dramatic, but I feel like with how the world works nowadays,
you have to protect
yourself.
You
just have to protect yourself and keep everything documented.
You don't know if it's crazy, like if this lady's crazy, and then be like, oh, your husband's the one who called me work wife.
100%.
And then his marriage and his relationship is
he has witness. He has a witness. He has
Yeah,
witness
that's
with
true.
his staff, like the staff around him that encountered the hug and whatnot, and him and her calling him a work
That's true.
husband.
Yeah.
But
So,
still.
so yeah, they will be meeting with the manager and HR.
Oh, they will.
It will be.
Holy moly. Damn, that really escalated.
Zazu. This door is a revolving door because this cat. Oh, hi, Zazu. Say hi, Zazu.
I love you, Zaz, but no. You're too furry to be here with
Yeah.
clean clothes.
He's like our biggest shedder. It's
Oh.
insane. He sheds so much.
So much.
Oh
So
my God.
damn much.
So, third update. After my last post, my wife and I were no longer comfortable with Mary's behavior. Although a part of me thought I was overreacting and it was just a part of Mary's personality, I felt the need to protect myself. I requested a meeting with my manager and HR to document my side of the story. I wrote down everything and told them about the incident at the party, as well as Mary coming into my office and the comments she made. I made it clear that while I did not want to take action against her, I wanted to emphasize that her behavior made me uncomfortable, especially her comments about knowing me better than my wife. Which is, yeah, I think that's the biggest red
That's
flag right there,
huge,
actually.
yeah.
My manager had already heard about the incident at the happy hour as everyone in the office was talking about it. He said he would try to shake up the travel schedule to minimize our travels together. The issue was that only 4 people in our company generally work in the offsite audits, and the other 2 coworkers did not want to split up because they claimed they work well together. As a result, I continued traveling with Mary for the next couple of weeks. It was awkward, but I kept my distance. So they actually hired a new auditor, Carolina, 26 female, and set up a schedule where she would travel with me once a week and then Mary the following week. We were asked to train her. I liked this arrangement because it meant I no longer had to travel with Mary. Carolina turned out to be a great travel buddy, and I made sure not to get too comfortable with her. I always dressed professionally when we went out for breakfast, avoided late night drinks, and maintained healthy boundaries. Things were great until last week. Last Tuesday, I could feel everybody staring at me when I entered the office, and I was immediately called into a meeting with HR and my manager. They asked if he had anything to report regarding Carolina, and if she made any advances toward me during the trip. I told them no, it's been very professional the entire time. I asked why I was being interrogated, and they said they couldn't disclose any further details.
What?
I left the meeting, and Mary came into my office, asking what had happened. She mentioned that she was also told that Carolina would no longer be traveling with us and that we were asked to travel together again. I told her I had no idea what was going on. I messaged Carolina to see if she was okay and if she needed to talk. She asked if she could come to my office, and I agreed. Carolina explained that someone anonymously sent messages to her boyfriend, posing as someone from the office over the weekend. The messages included screenshots of Caroline sending some inappropriate pictures she had taken in her hotel room during our travels, and flirtatious messages.
Oh.
This person claimed to her boyfriend that Carolina was trying to cheat with him at work, and he was just trying to warn them. Her boyfriend went crazy after seeing the pictures, ghosted her, and then sent the message to HR as revenge. Carolina was in tears, telling me that she had only taken those pictures for her boyfriend and had no idea how they got leaked or how those messages even existed. Her boyfriend was furious because he also received the exact pictures from Carolina and knew that they weren't fake. I consoled Carolina, but she's in deep trouble as our workplace takes such things very seriously because we work on government contracts. I'm sure everybody suspects I am the anonymous messenger. I was told the matter would be investigated and Mary and I would have to work together on projects again. My manager said there's nothing he could do, and also mentioned that they might go through my emails and messages on my company phone as a part of the investigation on Carolina. Mary seems very happy about the whole situation and keeps talking about how excited she is to revisit the restaurants and bars we used to frequent during the offsite trips. She also keeps referring to Carolina as that pervert.
What a big. Oh, it was her.
You're right?
Oh my god.
Oh my god, it was her, so she could
It
fucking
just like
keep going.
snapped.
The whole thing is just crazy. My wife, of course, believes that I would never do anything appropriate with Carolina and that I wasn't the anonymous messenger. However, her conspiracy theory is that Mary, who was also traveling with Carolina, may have unlocked her phone and accessed the photos. It feels far-fetched, but the fact is I'm not thrilled about traveling with Mary again. I don't think I have any other recourse to get off this project except leaving the job, which isn't possible at this time. I know many of you work in HR, and I would appreciate any advice on what I can do next.
Oh my dear.
That is the last update. I don't know what happened, but dude, doesn't that sound like Mary totally?
So 100% did it.
That's so sad.
That's
Kinda
savage.
juicy.
That is
Very, very juicy.
Aw, poor Carolina.
Yeah, dude, 26, and she got this like pretty awesome job, styling job, and then she gets
Freaking screwed
blackmailed
over.
third party. But at the same time, it kind of does sound like maybe she was flirting and she's lying, because the messages part, the pictures part, okay, but the messages part, like, how do you fake messages? I'm sure there's like Photoshop.
Unless
things like
Mary
that.
literally got into the phone and like had a moment to do all of that.
To like text herself back and forth.
Yeah, I don't
Maybe,
know.
yeah. But also, she could just be lying to homeboy. You know what I mean? Who are you growling at, lady? It's just us.
That is crazy.
Oh, you don't like Mary either. I get it. Yeah.
So
It was
crazy.
Mary.
So this one is pretty short, just quick to the point, but it asks, am I the asshole for asking my wife when my in-laws are leaving? So, wife, 38 female, and I, 39 male, have been married for 9 years. Her parents live about 12 hours away. We have a ranch property and a nice guest trailer about 500 yards from the house. It creates a nice buffer for evenings and nights. It's honestly not for them, it's me. They're nice, try to be respectful, and are genuinely nice people. I feel 4 to 5 days is long enough. At least let me know how long they're going to be here for. My wife and her parents seem to think it's fine to stay indefinitely. We are on day 5 today. I don't know when they are leaving. I don't want to kick them out, but I wish that they knew not to overstay their welcome. I tried to ask my wife about what the plan was and that I wish they would I wish they would know not to overstay their welcome. She didn't take it well at all. My wife is kind and non-confrontational. I am the confrontational asshole. Is it unreasonable for me to want to set some boundaries or at least know of their departure date? I'm sure they'll leave on their own somewhere between 8 to 10 days. I think that's too long. I just don't like having guests around for that long. They aren't a major inconvenience and maybe I'm just being silly, but just knowing someone is on property is kind of nerve-wracking. Not at least knowing when they're leaving kind of drives me nuts. When I try to gently talk about it with my wife, she gets very defensive and upset that I bring it up. I don't want to upset her or make her parents feel unwelcome, but I just think that there's some manners about at least letting your hosts know your plans that they just don't communicate. I get along good with them. Everything is fine. Just miss the peace of mind. Do I need to hold my nose a few more days and shut up? That's how I've handled it in the past. Am I the asshole for wanting to at least know the day they are leaving so I see the light at the end of the tunnel and mark my calendar?
This guy hates his in-laws.
Oh my god, yeah.
To be fair. Oh, go ahead.
No, actually, yeah, go ahead and I'll let you know what everyone says, which is crazy to me. I'm going to be honest with you, but go ahead.
So they don't tell them when they're gonna leave. They stay 8 to 10 days. How far they there?
They're in a 12 hours.
Okay. I mean, how often do they?
I don't know. I personally think he's an asshole. And this is why. I get the whole guest issue. You know, like it does get to a point where you just want your space. 100% understand that. But they're not even in the same building with them. They're in a trailer like 500 yards away.
Whoa, I missed that whole part. What the heck?
Yeah, they're not even
Oh.
in the same house. They're staying in a completely different, they have their own space.
Oh, that changes everything.
But guess what? Everyone said I am not the asshole, or like he's not the asshole.
I could see that too, though.
I don't understand. Okay, and like don't come for me. Do not come for me. But we were raised here, but we were raised with a different culture. In our culture, I guess like you know, when you have guests over, they're just welcome for however long. then again, like obviously you will get to a time. I'm assuming just like any human, like you just kind of get over it. But if they're in a whole other building, like I don't understand. I
Yeah.
like 100%
I
don't
agree.
understand it.
I think I missed that whole part, but yeah.
They're in a trailer.
Yeah.
Why is this freaking you out so much?
Yeah.
Why is this like so worrisome for you? Like there's literally should not be any. If anything, I'd be super happy. I'd be like, "Hey, my parents are here, my in-laws are here, but they have their own space and we have our own, and that's
Right.
it. Stay however long you want, and that's it."
Yeah. And that's just how we were raised. And I do get the whole I don't know when they're leaving part. I kind of get that.
No, I don't.
I understand. I'm just telling you my perspective.
No, I
So-
know. I just don't because I would get that if they were staying in the house. And if you were just
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Agree.
If they were staying in the house, then I would absolutely be right there with you. You just be like, damn, I can't even like walk outside like in my underwear, or I can't do this, or I can't do that, like, or I can't turn on the TV past a certain time because they're like they can hear, like, type of things.
Yeah.
But they're not even there. They like that's why he said there's a buffer for the evening night times.
Right.
Just I don't know. I just think it's crazy that he's like this.
And 8 to 10 days is not that long, especially like since they live 12 hours away. That's pretty far. To like for her.
So you're like saying that he's like, I think 4 to 5 days is fine. Bro, they just took them 12 hours to get here. I thought that was extreme. I can't believe that people are actually like, yeah,
Can you read the top comment?
One of the comments is, I think it's incredibly rude to not have a clear end date for guests. I behave differently when I have people staying with me or even visiting from out of town and staying in a hotel. I feel obliged to be available to them, to invite them to dine with me, etc. I feel like my life is on hold until they leave. So
Yeah.
I see that. I do see that perspective, but I feel like the in-laws like I guess yes, going back to where you're saying then like okay, so if we're going to talk about like guests and like friends and family, then I feel like yes. Like if I feel like if they're friends, then yeah, I feel more obligation to like be with them, hang out with them, blah, blah, blah. But I feel like with family, obviously, I think it's just natural that you're gonna want to hang out with them if they're visiting you. Am I wrong?
Your family, right? Like you don't feel obligated to hang out with my family, do you? If like when my parents come down, but they're here, my parents are coming down in October, but they're here for 3 months. You feel obliged to hang out with them all the time?
I mean, this weekend
Obligated. Sorry, not obliged.
This weekend my brother invited me to his house, but then we had your cousin's dinner. So I felt obliged to go with you, obligated to go to the dinner.
Right. But we planned that first.
Absolutely.
Okay, so but that's a completely different situation. All I'm saying is when they coming out of town, like how my parents are coming from out of town, in 3 months, do you feel obligated to see them every day or whatever?
No, because we're not even going to be seeing them every day.
Right.
Your parents are coming. I feel like your parents' scenario is different in the sense that they're coming with literally their own itinerary.
Yeah.
I feel like these parents came specifically to visit the kids, right. Their child and the family.
Yes.
But your family, your parents are coming with not only to visit you and your brothers and sisters and everybody, but like they're literally coming with their own itinerary. They're taking a cruise. They're gonna go travel to other states and visit other families.
But while they're here, do you feel obligated to always hang out with them?
I mean, well, it just depends. I mean,
okay, let's cut it down.
If it's just like Monday through Friday and they're just hanging out at at your sister's house, no, of course we're not going to drive every single day to go see them. There's just no way.
Yeah.
But if there's some sort of dinner at a restaurant and everyone is going, then yeah, I do feel obligated to go.
Right. Okay.
But I feel like their scenario is different.
Yes. Okay. So let's put let's put it. Here's a scenario. They're here for 10 days, right? They're here for 10 days. My parents are here for 10 days.
Okay.
Would you feel obligated to hang out with them with your daily life, from your daily life? Let's say they're staying in our backyard too. No. Correct. Me too. If your mom came down from Colombia and just said like, we're here for 10 days, staying in the backyard, I wouldn't feel obligated to hang out with her every day. I'd say, hey, come over for dinner. But like, I don't feel like we would stop our plans. I feel like we would actually. That's a different situation. Actually, you know what? This is hard.
I feel like we're just not a good example. 'Cause
Yeah,
both
this
of our
is-
families
yeah,
don't
we
live
would-
here.
Yeah, and we
Both
would
of our parents live super
12,
far.
yeah, 12 hours drive. That's so much easier than going out of like
Yeah, literally
of
both of
country.
our parents live out of country.
Yeah.
So it's like
that's
if
a
they were
hard one.
both here,
I guess we
like,
can't relate on this
I
one.
mean, no, I mean, granted, yeah, we wouldn't be with them every single day. Like if your parents stay with your sister, she lives an hour away. We're not going to go visit them every day. There's just no way.
I can see where he's not the asshole. I do want a time frame, though. I do. For me personally, I want a time frame.
Well,
How
that's
many
it.
days
Well,
are you staying for?
You're also the type where you don't like going on vacation for too long. You think
Yeah.
after like a week, it's like,
That's good. A week is plenty for vacation. Depends on how far. I also think that keeping it with this, give me a fucking end date. When is the end date? Because what if you don't get along with your in-laws, which is a case for a lot of
that's
of
true.
people.
It's true.
What if you don't?
My brother,
Yeah.
my sister, my brother.
Yeah, give me the fucking date that you're gonna leave. What's hard about that?
Yes and no. I think that
Oh.
it just depends on the scenario, who it is, and whatnot. There's some in-laws that are just like, stay as long as you want. There's some other that like I feel like the parents know already going in. That's like, you know what, I'm gonna have to let them know ahead of time that I'm only planning
Then
on
set
staying
that
for
boundary.
4
I don't
days.
think it's unreasonable for him to ask his wife, be like, "Hey, can you know how long are your parents staying here for?" I don't think that's unreasonable. Be like, "Hey, mom, dad."
I mean, I
when
guess you know what, he didn't explain how often they come.
Yeah, that's
I'm
what I was wondering.
wondering-
If it's a lot, yeah,
Yes.
could be like, what, every 3 months? Could be like, okay, dude, every 3 months you're getting here for like 2 or 3 weeks. I don't even know how long, but it sounds like they're taking an RV, right? Because
No. I think no,
They're
they
driving.
have a trailer there.
oh, it's
and they
there.
stay there.
Oh, I don't care. You know what? If it's your parents and they stay in the backyard, please do.
Yeah.
I don't care.
It's the same thing.
That's so
That's
weird.
literally what I'm trying to like if it's your parents and they want to stay in that trailer, have attitude.
But yeah, I think we're
I
a
feel
bad
like it's
example.
more what?
I think we're just a bad example on this one. We
Well,
can't relate on this because
I'm gonna say something that may be super, I guess, uncool. I don't know, but like we're just from a different culture where our parents really are almost like the center of of attention for a
Yeah.
very long time. Where like even people our age still live with their parents, and that is very normal.
Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
As opposed to like in the American culture, like as soon as you hit 18, 19, 20 years
Yeah,
old, you're out. You're
Get
out.
outta here.
Yeah.
I
and
like
like
that. I'm sending the
holidays,
kids out.
and then holidays,
18.
some holidays aren't even spent with the families. Nowadays, everybody's like, here, this is my itinerary for the year. You either can participate or not.
Yeah.
Which in our life is like, no way.
Yeah, no shot.
Like a parent's a parent. Like you're gonna spend it with. So I just feel like it's just different for us because, you know, family is really like the center of everything in our culture.
Yeah.
And I feel like in the American culture, correct me if I'm wrong, that's just not always the case.
Next story. Am I the asshole for refusing to buy my daughter another phone and ruining her life?
What?
I have a daughter, 14 female, and she's pretty clumsy. We bought her an iPhone 13 Pro a couple years ago. She broke hers just months after getting it. Thankfully, we had Apple Care and managed to get it repaired. Now she broke her phone again, and this time after it accidentally fell off her hand at a friend's house while she was playing a video game. The phone is too badly damaged now. She is now begging for an iPhone 15. Unfortunately, it's no longer covered by insurance, meaning we will have to buy a new phone. We just spent a lot of money on a gaming PC and an iPad for her 14th birthday. I don't really want to spend more money on electronics and smartphone for her, especially. A new iPhone would cost $1,000. She's also broken it once already, and I feel like I'll be rewarding this behavior if I buy her another phone, as she still seems to be clumsy. I made a deal with her that if she keeps her iPad for a year without breaking it, I'll buy her a new phone this year. She's now complaining that I'm going too far and that I'm ruining her life and that she needs an iPhone. She does still have a smartphone, but she complains about it being slow and a bad camera. She's currently using her sister's old Note 11. It's working well, but isn't as cool as her iPhone. But I'm wondering if I should just get her another iPhone, and if I'm going too far with the punishment. Am I the asshole? My thing is, you know how my parenting style is. I don't think she's the asshole.
She?
Oh,
or
sorry.
he?
I don't think he's the asshole. Kids have it too good nowadays.
Oh yeah.
Too good. And they need to know that these phones, even though you're using it daily and it's like an everyday part of your life, it is still a very expensive phone. It's still a very expensive piece of equipment.
I wonder if he just gets her like one of the like oldest versions that available.
Well,
So-
you're saying this could be a solution?
I'm wondering if, you know, because I feel like an iPhone is an iPhone for a reason, right? And like, I'm wondering if, like, just so she can at least have the satisfaction of having an iPhone, if he could just give her like one of the older versions until he can prove or she can prove to him that she could take care of that phone, and then in a year, get her one of the brand new ones.
He has a perfectly working phone, right? What's it matter if it's an iPhone? It's an old. She has an old phone. It just happens to be a Samsung. This is a old tale as long as time of iPhone versus Android, and this girl is a very. Most teenagers are.
Almost everyone is.
She already has a working phone. Doesn't have a great camera. Great. What is she using? Snapchat probably. Like what? What do you need a good camera for at 14? Selfies, Snapchat. Your phone can still do it. Take care of this phone for a year and you can get a new phone. I don't think that's a bad deal. And he's willing to get her the newest one. Make sure that you know kids are clumsy. I mean, not only kids, I break my phone all the time, but I just don't care about my phone. I literally do not care about it. It's just a part of, for me, it's a tool. And if your tool drops, okay. But it's an expensive tool.
Yeah.
But I have my own money. This girl doesn't have her own money to do that, to be treating it like that. So it's I think it's a hard way of
just a
punishment.
hard lesson, yeah.
It's a hard punishment. And the reality is kids do need a smartphone. Not kids. I think once you're a teenager, you need a phone. You don't necessarily need the apps. But why would you be the only kid without it? I think this is a good punishment. But only breaking her phone twice, it's a little much. A year, I would say, like for me, I'd be like 6 months. Keep this phone unbroken for 6 months. I'll get you a new iPhone.
Yeah, I mean, I can see your side of that. Maybe like not a year. I think maybe 6 months is a little low. I think maybe like somewhere in between. Just prove to me till this certain month.
Yeah.
That you can take care of this phone, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah. My next point on here is that for her 14th birthday, she also got
an
iPad and a gaming PC.
Oh yeah, no.
Who the fuck at 14? I just got my gaming PC. Okay, no, I've had it, but yeah, I've had to work for that. I had to build that from like scratch and like with money over the years.
Yeah, no, this girl just sounds
they have money.
Sounds spoiled.
They're not begging for, or like, what's it called? Scratching for money.
You know what I would probably say?
Tell her to sell her one of those.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was my next thing. Literally, okay, you want that? You're gonna have to get rid of one.
Get rid of one. Yeah.
Well, it'd probably have to be her PC because I doubt her
iPad's
gonna make much money anyway. But get rid of one, sell it.
We'll see how much money you get out.
See how much, and then give it a couple more months. I think like 3 months. For me, it's 3 months. For me, it's 3 months. Sell one of your items, and we'll get you your phone. That's a hard lesson right there.
And it teaches her responsibility.
Do you need an iPad? No. Don't. If you have an iPhone, you don't need an iPad. Yeah. So, yeah, not the asshole. Tough parenting lesson, but not the asshole.
Actually, yeah. No, I agree. Not the asshole.
Perfect. Thank you guys for joining us today. Laundry is folded. We just got to put it away. I'm just not going to go blah, blah, blah. And the kiddo's up, so thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching our first ever video, and we'll see you next time. Peace.